Guys, welcome to another tutorial on how to draft a basic bodice pattern. Okay, on my pattern paper I've already gone ahead to mark out my horizontal and vertical lines. Okay, what I did is I divided the pattern paper into two and got the midpoint, and I drew a straight line through. Okay, the front body's pattern is 12, while the back body is 12. So that's the midpoint. So the next thing is to get the chest line, which is 8 from the shoulder line. Then the bust point is 10.5 from the shoulder line. From the shoulder line to the on the bust is 13.5, then to the waist is 17. Okay, then I took note of the point and drew my horizontal line. Then for the back bodies, from the shoulder to the bust point 8, shoulder to the waist is 15. So you notice there's a difference. The front waistline, which is a half length, is longer than the back with 2 inch. This is because of the bust. By the time you measure yourself, you discover that the there's a difference between the waistline of the front and the back. So you should try that and see. Next thing is to take the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2. It's 8 plus an extra half inch, which is 8.5. Take note of the points. Then the next thing is to mark the same at the chest line, the 8.5 at the chest line. Then you draw a straight line across from the shoulder to the chest line, like so. The next thing to do is to go down by 1 inch from the shoulder line. Take note of that point. Then from that point to the chest line is 7. Take the midpoint of 7. The midpoint of 7 is 3.5. Okay, then mark your 3.5. Then the next thing is to go in by 0.75 at that midpoint. This is for the curve, for the hammer curve. Okay, but before we go ahead to draw a curve, we have to take the bust measurement. Okay, the measurement of the bust. To get that, you divide your bust by 4. For these, I'm working with bust 38. Divide by 4 is 9.5. So I take note, mark the 9.5 from the center front. Mark 9.5. Then I added an extra 1 inch allowance. The extra allowance is not compulsory, okay? You can actually add your allowance after drafting your pattern when you want to cut on the main fabric. So it's not compulsory, add your allowance to your pattern paper. Okay, so I've gone ahead to draw my armhole curve. The next thing I'll do, I'll take the neckline measurement. So I'm working with 4 by 4. So the width and the depth is 4. Okay, 4 inch. You can go ahead and use any measurement you want to use. Okay, so I've drawn my neckline and I've gone ahead to draw my shoulder slant. as you can see, like so. The next thing is to go to the back bodice and take the shoulder measurement. Mind you, there's a 1 inch allowance at the center back, which is the zip allowance. So we take our shoulder measurement from that allowance, which is 8.5. You take note of that point, and from the chest line, you mark also your 8.5. So we can draw a straight line that connects from the shoulder to that chest line. Okay. The next thing is to take our neckline measurements. For the back, for the depth, I'm working with 1 inch. You go down by 1 inch, mark the point. Okay. Then for the width, we're working with 4 inch. We took 4 inch for the front width. So you impute that same 4 inch for the back width, like so. Then you connect with your French curve, like so. Then from the shoulder line, you go down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. You slant with your ruler. Yeah, as you can see me doing, like so. So you measure the midpoint from that slant line to the chest line. The midpoint is 3.5. From the 3.5, you go in by zero point 0.5. Before you draw your curve, your hammer curve, you impute the bust measurement at the chest line, which is 9.5. Okay, remember we are starting from the 1 inch zip allowance, like after the 1 inch zip allowance, okay, which is 9.5. Then you go ahead to connect your French curve, like so. Then you go to your front pattern and impute the waist measurement. The waist measurement divided by 4. Then you take note of the point. For me, I went ahead to add extra 2 inch for the dart allowance, then an extra 1 inch seam allowance. Okay. Then you connect the chest line to the waistline. Okay, note I'm working with waist 33. So I've gone ahead to connect the line from the chest to the waist. So I'm going to impute the chest line measurement for the back bodice, which is 9.5. I added extra 1 inch allowance. So on the waist, I went ahead to impute the measurement, added 1 inch dart allowance for the dart intake, then extra 1 inch. Then you go ahead to connect the line, yeah, from the chest line to the waistline, like so. The next thing we want to do is to eliminate any curve, so we don't have a bulge at the waistline. We're going to go in by 1 inch. I'm so sorry you're not seeing what I'm doing, but please bear with me. Okay, we'll go in by 1 inch. Then you connect a straight line from your waist to your chest line. Connect with a straight line, like so. The next thing to do is to replace that 1 inch you took out of the waistline from that center back. You replace it at the side. You replace your 1 inch. Take note of that mark and connect with a straight line from that waist to the chest line. The next thing is to impute your zipper allowance from the chest line. So we are marking our 1 inch at the neckline, at the chest line, and at the waistline. You mark your 1 inch for the zipper allowance. Then you connect with your straight line. Yeah, from that chest line, you're slanting into the waistline, like so. Then we are going to blend in or blend it because the back is not straight. So for that, from the waistline, you mark 4. At the chest line, you do the same, 4 inch. Then you connect with a straight line. So remember, for the dart intake, it's 1 inch. Then you share 1 inch, which is zero 0.5 at both sides. 0.5. Then you connect a slant line to that point at both sides. You go to the front bodice. For the bust span is 8, divided by 2 is 4. Then at the bust point, you mark your 4 as well. Notice that the bust span is stopping at the bust point for the front. Okay. Then I go ahead to take in the 2 inch I left for the dart, 1 inch at both sides. Then you connect like so. You connect the bust span with a straight line stopping at the waist. Then add that on the bust. I go in by 1/4 of an inch. I mark 1/4 of an inch at both sides. Then you connect the points. So I'll go ahead to shade out that part I'm going to be cutting out like this. Then at the back I'll do the same thing. I'll shade out that part as well. The next thing is to reconcile the front and the back pattern. You notice the front is longer than the back with 2 inch. So from the bust point, I'll mark 2 inch downwards. If yours is 1 inch difference, you mark 1 inch from the bust point downwards. So you go ahead to connect the straight line from that point. But before I did that, I marked out 1 inch from that bust span and went down from that bust point downwards by 1 inch, because you don't want to finish sewing your edges and you're having a sharp point at the bust point. So I'll go ahead and draw my line for the bust dart like so. Later on, I will be reconciling the bust span going down by 1 inch. For now, let's draw the bust dart. I'll go ahead and mark the center. I connect with the line, then shade it out. So by the time I take that bust dart in, the waistline and the front waistline and the back waistline will be equal. So that's the essence of that bust dart. So now I'll go ahead to reconcile my bust span measurement by going down by 1 inch. Okay, I've done that now. As you can see, it's no longer stopping at the bust point. Shading out the dart intake back like so. I'll go ahead and blend those sharp edges. I'll blend it like so at the bust point, like so. You don't want to have any sharp edge. Then I'll blend it to at the on the bust point. So I'll go ahead and cut out this pattern so I can show you how to take in the bust dart. So I've gone ahead to cut out my pattern. So I take in my bust dart, after which the sides will be equal. So these are you take in the bust dart, as you can see me doing. Ensure the dart meets at the bust point, like so. You can see the curve it's already giving me. So you notice that the edges are not equal. So I'm going to go ahead to add extra paper under so I can blend it. With your marker, you blend it in like so, then go ahead and cut out that extra paper because you don't need it. Go ahead, cut it out like so. As you can see, after closing the bust dart, we've been able to reconcile both pattern. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you can get my video as a drop.